Try this lip smacking, finger licking Oha Soup recipe. It's perfect. First thing I did was to cook the meat. Added some chopped onions, about a half of a bulb of onion, then the seasoning cube, and then salt. Stir, cover, allow it to cook with its own water. I also rinsed my cocoyam and I'm boiling it already. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to chop the pomo into tiny chunks. I'll add them to the meat when the time comes. Now this is to make sure that you have plenty of obstacles inside that soup. Lots of things to touch and eat. Here we are. The next thing I'm going to do now is to wash the smoked fish and also rinse the stockfish. I'm using PC stockfish today, but one thing you want to look out for is all those weevils that follow stockfish. You want to be sure they are not inside your stockfish. You usually find those ones with the head. So, but when it's this pieces, you really don't find so much of that, but just check. Okay, that's my stockfish and the smoked fish. So my fish is ready, and the next thing I'm going to do now is check up on that meat to see if it is done. If it's done, I begin to add everything. If not, I'll just add some water and give it some time. So let's check it. Okay, it looks good and looks like it's done, but we need to pierce this fork to see what I touched and what I taste. The meat done. All right, so I just add a little bit of water to help me finish up with other things I'm doing. Okay, let me peel this cocoyam because I'll blend it immediately after the pepper too. I actually planted some cocoyams in a pot at my house. I'm hoping to start eating from those cocoyams soon. Yeah. So my cocoyam garden is doing well. I'm hoping to start harvesting and eating it soon. All right, so this cocoyam is ready. I'll let it rest while I blend the pepper. Blender is ready, but I think it's a good time to add the stockfish. Okay, so I have my stockfish in here, then the pomo. I'll add the crayfish now. I'm being very generous with this crayfish today. So, but this is enough. I'm going to take my spoon now and stir on the soup. Don't worry, I'm going to be adding water to the cocoyam when I blend it. So that water is going to make up the soup. So don't worry if you feel like, water not did the soup. Don't worry, water go there. Okay? I'll add the smoked fish later. But now it's pepper time. Add some water to this osensuka, habanero pepper, yellow pepper, to blend. All right, so the pepper is ready. I'll pour it into the pot now. This also makes up part of the soup, okay? Also, osensuka is actually very hot. It's not the only kind of pepper you can use. You can use Cameroon pepper, but the thing is the type of pepper you use actually determines what your Oha soup will look like at the end. So when you use yellow pepper, Oha soup is supposed to look very yellowish, so it just goes looking yellow. If you add red pepper, it kind of brings it down a bit. If you add Cameroon pepper, which is black, it kind of brings that color down to a darker side. So my yellow pepper goes in. I'll go blend my cocoyam now. But just before then, I'm going to stir on this, cover it to cook. All right, time for cocoyam. That's the cocoyam, and I'll add some water for it to blend. If you do not have a blender, you can always pound your cocoyam. Now, it's obvious with that noise that it has blended and it's thick. Okay, so this is fine. I'm going to pour it into my soup now and I'll follow it with the oil. I'll add about 2 cooking spoons of palm oil. I'm rinsing out the blender. So this is good. I'm going to add the ogiri now. I'll add the smoked fish too. Cover it and allow this oil and cocoyam cook very well to become very silky, smooth and beautiful, and it also enters into all the other ingredients. While it's doing that, I'll quickly shred my oha leaves. Oha leaves are so fragile, so because they are so fragile, they usually are not sliced with knife so that they don't bleed that much. You just shred them with your hands like this, but if you still cut them with knife, nothing will happen really. So but traditionally you just shred with your hands like that. My oha is ready. I'll check on the pot now to see if it's time to add it. This looks really good, and the taste is yummy already. I'll just add silky smooth in the mouth. That's how your oha should feel like. Okay, so I'm just going to add uziza leaves now. I'm adding the uziza first because it's a tougher vegetable than the oha. So I'm just going to add about a fistful of uziza. That's fine. I will add the oha leaves now. It actually shouldn't cook for too long because oha is a very delicate leaf. Then the last but not the least is the periwinkles. Then 1 seasoning cube to balance it all out. It's a very tasty, tasty, tasty soup. This looks good. Cooks for just 1 minute to 2 and is ready. We are stepping this down with some swallow. I'll get my swallow now. This is good. Soup done, but just before I go to that swallow, let's do a taste test. Sweet, I told you already. It's already sweet. This is good. All right, time for my swallow. In making your semo, you start with lukewarm water or cold water, and you add your flour. Begin to mix till it forms a dough and the consistency you want. As soon as it mixes, you begin to smoothen it by beating, and once it forms a dough, you add a little bit of water if you feel it's not done yet. Then once you add the water, you either cover it to cook for 2 or 3 minutes or a minute, but if you feel like it's almost there, like here it's almost there, that's why I didn't cover it, so I just allow it to bubble up a bit, then I'll smoothen by beating it. So, but this is fine. This is how I like my semo, and I have guests today to enjoy my oha soup with me with cold, refreshing, ice-chilled and refreshing Coca-Cola. My Coca-Cola has been resting in the fridge since, so it's time to go pick it up. And food done. Destiny, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing? For those of you who don't know Destiny, Destiny was one of the judges at the cooking competition for the Holic Festival 2021. Yeah, Destiny, taste this oha. You've eaten oha before, What do you think about this one?
You know, when I first came in, the aroma of this whole place engulfed me. I was like, okay, fine, okay, Lenny, it's actually swallow, you understand? I was actually looking forward to it. I hope it's Gina, come on, we know what we expect. This is very amazing.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We don't respect it at all.
It's so good that you're going straight to. It looks good on you.
This is actually amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, the secret to people enjoying food, especially when it's meat, make sure that meat is done and soft. Once it's soft, everybody just flows with it.
No one wants to have teeth problem because you're eating beef or meat. So this is great.
I really enjoy this soup. Soup is nice. Yeah. And you know the thing, as we are eating, everything goes better with Coca-Cola for the real one that when you hold it for you.
Thank you.
The sound of happiness. You can help me with mine.
Alright. No enjoyment will pass this one.
I tell you.
Yeah.
It is so good. So what do you think about this Oha soup?
Well, I eat Oha a lot actually. But, I think this actual Oha went to Harvard.
I just like the smooth and the silkiness. It's actually very silky.
It's accompanied with a lot of soldiers and
I call them obstacles.
Obstacles.
Neighbor disturbers.
Well, I call them stepping stones actually.
Okay. I think stepping stones sound better rather than obstacles. Stepping stones. That's good.
Stay positive.
It's good. It's really good. Like it's so silky in the mouth.
This is why I'm licking my finger.
It's silky. It's nice.
The sound.
Very nice. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up, share and comment. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, do click on the subscribe button and notification bell to enjoy more of my recipes.